why isn't there a reception that takes place? And I'm like, look, I dated somebody before my current relationship, before my marriage. One of the people that I dated for a long-term relationship worked at a daycare for a very long time, and they locked the front door. There was no reception area for the daycare. There was nothing with this daycare that, allowed just free access for anybody to come in. You either had to have an appointment to come in, or you had to be a known parent to be able to be let in, because they're not going to let in some random Joe Schmo off the street to interview people and take pictures of when other people's children are around. So it makes absolute sense that a door might be locked and they wouldn't let you in, just for being a random person who has questions to ask. You want to call them up and you want to interview them? Fine. You want to set up a time to interview them? Fine, do that. But you can't necessarily say, oh, the door was locked and therefore there were no kids, because that's an illogical assumption based on, and actually if you watch the CNN video where they're interviewing him for a little bit, he actually admits that he didn't know that, and then he has to backtrack and change his argument a bit. So that's one of the reasons why you need to question everything that you see as it pertains to, what news they're trying to present. You have to do that with everybody. Even nowadays, you have to do it with some of the, larger people, even on the left, who report data incorrectly. I'm going to get to that in a little bit. Because he's MAGA, I automatically have a little bit of distrust for him. And that's why I'm going to say, okay, well, let's give him some question. But a lot of these people are like, why are you attacking the investigator and not the investigated? Well, it's not that we're attacking the investigator. We just want to verify the veracity of his claims to make sure that he's actually saying things that are correct and not trying to, do some sort of racist, bigoted smear against Somali-owned businesses. Now, why is this important? On December 30th, 2025, President Donald Trump's administration announced on Tuesday that it is freezing child care funds to Minnesota and demanding an audit of some daycare centers after a series of fraud schemes involving government programs in recent years. Of course, one of those fraud schemes was not run or masterminded by anybody who was Somali. It was a white woman. Deputy Secretary of Health and Human Services Jim O'Neill said on the social platform X that the move is in response to blatant fraud that appears to be rampant in Minnesota and across the country. Well, but why are you cutting off all child care funds for some people committing fraud? This is just the way that MAGA and conservatism operate. They see a problem that could be fixed with a scalpel or tweezers, and instead just decide to take a gigantic mallet and smash it on the head. They want to cut everything. It's like, again, we talked about this earlier. Measure twice before you cut. Well, they're going to cut everything. So they're going to hurt all children getting federal daycare funds in the state of Minnesota because some people are committing fraud. It almost makes you want to think and be a conspiracy theorist and say, oh, maybe MAGA folks wanted him to create this ruckus so that Trump could start justifying the shutdown of these funds going to one state, and then, oh, now this is all rampant across the country. Now we're going to shut down child care funds across the entire country, harming children across the country based on a few people potentially committing fraud. Tim Walz punched back. The governor, again, punched back, saying fraudsters are a serious issue the state has spent years cracking down on, but the move is just part of Trump's law game. He is politicizing the issue to defund programs that help Minnesotans. I would say he's politicizing the issue to defund programs that help everybody, not just Minnesotans.